From within the institution that awards the prize, Lamine Yamal, candidate for the Ballon d'Or. The Spanish international Lamine Yamal remains one of the contenders to win the Ballon d'Or despite not winning the UEFA Champions League in the 2024-2025 season. The Spanish player shone with Barcelona this season and managed to secure the domestic titles for the Blaugrana, starting with the Spanish Super Cup, followed by the Copa del Rey, and then La Liga. The French newspaper L'Équipe cited statements by Luis Fernandez, former Paris Saint-Germain coach, in which he nominated Lamine Yamal to win the Ballon d'Or. Lamine Yamal, candidate for the Ballon d'Or. The newspaper, which is a co-organizing entity of the Ballon d'Or award in cooperation with France Football, confirmed that the Barcelona winger is a contender to win the prize, and that even if Ousmane Dembele wins it, Lamine Yamal will remain one of the top candidates to challenge him. Dembele is preparing to lead Paris Saint-Germain tonight in the Champions League final against Inter Milan at the Allianz Arena. The newspaper pointed out that the awards will be distributed on September 22nd, and voting will close at the end of August by a jury composed of 100 journalists from 100 countries, considered among the best according to FIFA's ranking. Dembele has the chance to win the Champions League and then the Club World Cup next month, which would make him a strong contender for the Ballon d'Or, as he is currently the most likely candidate. L'Équipe belongs to the same group that includes France Football magazine, which has awarded the Ballon d'Or since 1956 and which will likely announce the 30-man shortlist, which will be the basis for the vote, next month. Unexpected statement from Dembele toward Barcelona. Moments after the final whistle of the Champions League final, played in a fiery atmosphere and in front of a massive crowd in the stands, Ousmane Dembele, the lightning-fast winger who moved from Barcelona to Paris Saint-Germain, made statements that can only be described as emotional, sincere, and confusing. While the celebrations were at their peak and the spotlight was shining on the champions, Dembele chose to direct attention somewhere entirely different, to Catalonia, to his former club, to FC Barcelona, where he left both his mark and his heart, as was clearly evident in his passionate words. With a slightly trembling voice and eyes glowing with emotion he couldn't hide, Dembele stood in front of dozens of journalists and said, "Before I say anything about the final, let me first say this. Congratulations to FC Barcelona for winning the Spanish league. They ended an incredible season by winning La Liga deservedly, in the most difficult season Spanish football has seen in years, with fierce competition, intense pressure, and a complete squad overhaul. And yet, they proved to everyone who the real king of La Liga is." Dembele continued, gesturing as if he were describing a scene he had replayed many times in his mind. "What Barcelona did this season is amazing. Since the arrival of Hansi Flick, everything changed. The approach changed, the personality changed, the mentality changed, and even the language in the locker room changed. Now there's a sense of seriousness, strength, and the ability to control every match from the first minute to the last. If you ask me which team is the best in Europe this season in terms of performance, tactical structure, and talent development, I'll say Barcelona, without a second thought. We were lucky not to face them." When asked about the team that would have posed the greatest threat had it reached the final, Dembele didn't hesitate in offering a surprising revelation. "Let me say it clearly. If Barcelona had reached the final, the match would have been much tougher for us. I don't want to take anything away from Inter Milan. They're a great, well-organized team, but Barcelona under Flick is something else entirely. I followed them all season long, and everyone in the PSG dressing room talked about them from time to time, especially after their big La Liga matches. How they pressed Real Madrid in El Clásico, how they outclassed Atletico, and the mental resolve that kept them on top despite all the injuries and absences. That's a terrifying team." He added, with a reflective smile, "Let me be honest, we were lucky. Yes, lucky we didn't face Barcelona in the final. I know very well what it means to face a team with a coach like Flick and a group of young players who play as if they've been in finals for years. If Barcelona had been in this final, it would have been a completely different kind of match." Speaking from the heart about the new generation. The nostalgia didn't leave Dembele's words, as he dedicated a large part of his statement to talking about Barcelona's current players, especially the young ones who carried the team through this exceptional season. Barcelona has something that can't be bought, a generation of players that only comes once every 2 decades. Lamine Yamal? This boy, no, I can't even call him a boy. This young man plays as if he's already got 100 Champions League games under his belt. He's a magician. He changes the course of a match with a single move, a dribble, a pass. And what Pedri and Gavi are doing in midfield? Genius, balance, total control. As if they grew up on the sidewalks of Camp Nou with a map of the pitch imprinted in their minds. Then Dembele spoke about the harmony between generations within the team. The presence of players like Araujo, Christensen, Cancelo, alongside these young stars, has created a unique blend. A mix of strength, experience, and flexibility. I haven't seen a team transition from defense to attack so smoothly, nor handle pressure with such calm. Today's Barcelona looks a lot like the 2009 Barcelona, not just in terms of stars, but in the concept, in the mental dominance over their opponents. The unforgettable shirt. In a moment that seemed to transport him back in time, Dembele spoke in a low voice. I left Barcelona, yes, but this shirt never left me. The years I spent there taught me so much about professionalism, about pressure, about a fan base that doesn't forgive easily but loves with its whole soul. I'm happy here in Paris, but Barcelona will always be in my heart. The final message: the future begins in Catalonia. Dembele concluded his speech with a far-reaching message, addressed to the journalists, but seemingly intended for the whole footballing world. Barcelona sets the alternative plan to reinforce the wing. FC Barcelona has set the alternative plan to reinforce the attacking wing position in the upcoming summer transfer window, according to what was reported by the Spanish daily Sport on Friday evening. The Catalan club is aware of the need to sign a new winger to give rest to Lamine Yamal and Rafinha next season, a request made by German coach Hansi Flick. Barcelona considers other options. Barca has already set its sights on Englishman Marcus Rashford, Manchester United winger, and Luis Diaz, Liverpool's Colombian star, but if the club fails to sign either of them, it will move toward other options. Sport explained that Barcelona is also considering Frenchman Kingsley Coman, winger of Bayern Munich, as one of its summer market options, in addition to thinking about Brazilian Gabriel Martinelli, player of English club Arsenal. This comes at a time when Luis Diaz is moving away from Barcelona's radar due to the financial cost of the deal, in addition to United's refusal to part with Rashford, unless through a permanent sale for €40 million, an amount that Barca does not appear willing to pay under any circumstances. Decisive message from Barcelona to Juan Garcia. Spanish press reports have revealed the situation of goalkeeper Juan Garcia, who is on Barcelona's radar for a potential summer transfer from Espanyol. Juan Garcia is one of the key targets on Barcelona's summer negotiation table, and the Catalan club is strongly linked to signing him. The Spanish newspaper Mundo Deportivo confirmed that Barcelona sent a message to the 23-year-old goalkeeper before officially entering the final stage of the deal. Barcelona's message to Juan Garcia, the Spanish club, sent a message to the goalkeeper, assuring him that he would not be just a backup and would have the chance to play in many matches next season, especially as both sporting director Deco and coach Hansi Flick have great confidence in his abilities. And although a spot in the starting 11 is not guaranteed, Juan Garcia is very optimistic about Barcelona's offer, seeing it as the most logical option at this point in his career. Barcelona has taken the lead in the race to sign him, and the other offers he received, such as the one from Manchester City, did not convince him compared to the Catalan club's proposal. Things are progressing rapidly, and Juan is well aware of the demands of wearing the Barcelona jersey. He has received a promise from the club that he will not join just to be a substitute, and his goal is to join the Spanish national team for the 2026 World Cup. His last season with Espanyol was excellent, and the young Catalan goalkeeper became a key figure in helping his team remain in the Spanish First Division, topping the La Liga saves chart with 146 saves in 38 matches.